Hi, I wanted to make an updated video on my thoughts on Gabapentin. That was the first video I ever made on YouTube, and it was basically me um, pretty much praising Gabapentin, that it was uh, a great medication for anxiety, and um, yeah, I just want to basically retract all of that in this video. I know a lot of my subscribers struggle with anxiety too, like me. So I have had anxiety most of my life, at least since 6 years old. Um, I've had social anxiety since at least 6 years old. And I've been to a psychiatrist um, a few years ago, and I was diagnosed with social anxiety and general anxiety disorder. And I never really took medication. I never did anything really for my anxiety until like 2016, I believe it was. No, 2015. And um a friend of mine said that they take gabapentin and they really liked it and said that, oh, it like cures their anxiety and I should get it because I'm just like struggling for no reason. Like I could be so much better if I would just take medication. And so I was kind of desperate. Like I was just like so tired of being anxious all the time and like living most of my life with anxiety. Like that's all I know. Like it must be nice to live without anxiety, or like everybody has like a little anxiety, but to be like minimal, like that just must be like amazing. But anyway, so I was like, okay, I'm determined. I have to go to the doctor now and um, get some kind of anxiety medication, try it out. So I did, and it was really easy to get actually. Um, all I had to do was walk in there and say that I have anxiety, and this was before I even went to the psychiatrist, actually. All I had to do was say that I have anxiety, and then he's like, well, there's different kinds. There's antidepressants, and then he was like, have you heard of any? Do you have any in mind? And I said right away, I was like, gabapentin. And he was like, well, gabapentin. He's like, that's not an anxiety med, and it's not. And that's the thing, is it's gabapentin is actually for seizures and I think it's, yeah, nerve pain. So it has off-label uses for anxiety. So I think, to my knowledge, off-label basically means that it hasn't really been tested, so they can't like condone the use for that exactly. But he was like, well, if that's what you want to use, he had to like research a little bit because it was off label. And then he's like, well, if that's what you want. And then he wrote the prescription for me. And then I was on gabapentin for, I think I was on it for a year and a half. And so I would just want to talk about that in this video. Like, I know the first few videos that I made on YouTube, I was like, this is a really good medication. It helps my anxiety, and I was recommending it and everything, but like, I definitely do not recommend it anymore, having been on it. Um, just, you know, like, it would give me this like buzz kind of a feeling, and like I would be like happy and laughing more than I usually do, and it would make me like short-term memory loss. Like, I would lose my keys a lot and stuff like that. Like, brain fog is what I would say. Like, I couldn't focus. I was just in a cloud all the time. And the longer that I was on it, the more I noticed like negative side effects from it. Like, I just, um, like I said, like I could not focus, and like I just felt like, just like a walking shell. Like, not even a person. I don't know, like my feelings were subdued. I was like out of it, I guess is the best way to describe it. Just like blah every day. Maybe it did help my anxiety some to like numb it, but I like, what's the trade-off? Like, the trade-off is that I just, I, my feelings were numbed too, is what it was. Like, I didn't feel like myself anymore, and I noticed I like had this weird breathing thing where like I would stop breathing consciously, and like, so that's the other thing. I feel like I still have that problem. And part of me wonders if that's from gabapentin, and part of me wonders if that's just from anxiety. But I never had that problem before, just having anxiety without medication. But I've read like some, like Reddit and some forums online where people who have anxiety say that they have that problem. Like, it's pretty common to like, when you're focusing on things, or like to forget to consciously breathe during certain periods of the day. It's like, it's more so when you're like concentrating on something, or I don't know, it's weird. It's not fun. It's uncomfortable, and like I said, I don't know if that's from gabapentin, but I do know that that started happening when I was taking it. So, and there, you can look online. There's a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lot of forums, people talking about the negative effects of gabapentin, and a lot of people have had it way worse than me. Like, they absolutely had to get off it because it was like ruining their life. And I just, it was just, in the end, it was a negative experience, and it made me not want to try any more medication for anxiety. And um, I've only tried one other. That psychiatrist, she prescribed me, I think it was Prozac. Yeah, it was Prozac. I tried it for one day and it was horrible. I had so many side effects. I was dizzy, nauseous, like, it was not good. It was so bad. That particular one makes you so you can't sleep at night. Like, you just cannot sleep. So I was like, I can't do this because I have to work full time and I can't be dealing with side effects. That's like, I don't know how people like test out medication like that when they have to work full time. But yeah, and that made me, I don't know, I'm just, I'm not really like a medication proponent because I feel like it's just a band-aid. I feel like it doesn't, not to say that, I don't know, just for me personally, like I haven't had good experience with it. So, and I still have anxiety every day and it sucks. And last week I had two panic attacks. I had on 2 days, nights in a row. And it sucks. And like, the only thing I can think is to exercise more. Like, I could definitely do that. I do feel like that's the only thing that helps me. I think that diet helps a little bit, but there's a lot of people who say that diet can completely cure anxiety. It'll just cure it. And like, I don't believe that because I've eaten like really healthy and clean just to test that out, and there was no difference. My anxiety stayed the same. So maybe that works for some people, but I don't think that's fair to claim that that will work for everybody. And the other thing I want to say about gabapentin was withdrawals. So I believe that most anxiety medications, well, a lot of medications in general, but gabapentin for sure, you are going to have withdrawals. Okay, and I had never experienced withdrawals before. I didn't know what to expect. I was a little nervous. I told my doctor, like, what should I do to come off of this? And she, right away, she's just like, just stop taking it next week. Because I had been tapering off, but I hadn't tapered off enough, and I could like feel that. I was like, I don't think I've been tapered off enough from this. But she was like, nope, Mondays, just stop taking it. And I really regretted that. Oh my God. I shouldn't have listened to her because I should. One of my subscribers told me that um, it would be wise to, when you're tapering off, to like, you can split a pill in half and take half of it. And I should have done that. Um, I wasn't even down to like one pill even when I was tapering. So, like, um, so withdrawals, this is what happened. I stopped taking it on Monday and I went to work and I started getting the chills like that afternoon, like real the worst chills of my life. Like I was like visibly shaking, shivering, and I had on like three shirts, like a sweater on there and my winter coat, and I was sitting there in the office shivering and like my coworkers were like, Amanda, it's warm in here. And then I made it through that whole day, and then I went home, and then I was out the rest of the week. Like, oh my God. Withdrawals are no joke, and like, I went through that whole thing by myself, but I like don't, cause like I'm a kind of like a prideful person. Like, I can do everything on my own. Like, I don't need anybody to help me, kind of a person. But like, don't do that when you're withdrawing from a medication because that's dangerous and like you can die from that. And I felt like I was dying. Like it's hard to describe what it felt like. It felt like so horrible. It's like being sick, but it's not. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It was a different level of being sick. Like I had fevers, chills, and I had this feeling like I want to like crawl out of my skin. Like I just want to like, ugh. And then the feeling of like I just want to take it again. So I just want to take gabapentin again so I feel better. Like take this feeling away from me. You know, like And I'll tell you the only thing that helped me during that week, I must have taken like 40 showers that week. I took so many showers because that is like the only thing. And I didn't really even feel relieved. It just helped like a little bit. And it was like, I didn't know what to do because I felt so horrible. And I never want to go through that again. That's why I don't even want to try another medication because I don't ever want to have to go through withdrawals again. That's horrible. If you want to share your withdrawal experiences in the comments, go ahead. Um, yeah, you have to be like strong to get through that for real. So yeah, I do not recommend gabapentin for anxiety, and I'm sure there's a lot other medications out there that would be a lot better to try.